baby, can you do me a favor? Can you go on your just see if the I just want to hear see if the audio and everything is okay.
The music works. Can you talk?
Does it sound like my mic or does it sound like the camera? I'm from my computer. How's that? Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, it's perfect.
All right, for sure.
The mic, but if there is like a 30 second,
On YouTube there for sure is.
that's so good. Maybe can you put the music a little bit lower?
Yeah. How's it sounding now?
Where I'm trying. No, now it's too low. It looks like you turned it off. Yes, that's good.
All right. Perfect.
102 subscribers, babe.
Yep.
I didn't see that.
We're going.
That's so cool.
Yep. Let's get it.
And you have the neon. That's so cool.
I know everything works together. Yo to anybody here watching? What's up? What's up?
I love this ice cream.
Yeah. Okay. Just getting set up right now. About to get some drawing done. I think I'll post this one on Instagram. I gotta put the links on Twitter as well. Alright, let's go. Let's go. Let's do some drawing. Alright, so today I'm gonna be trying to, just continue this one by cleaning up basically this color sketch. This is like a rough, kind of loose version of what the final should look like, but generally the colors will probably stay the same. So, just refining this piece. Been working on it on stream. You could see the very first sketch I did, trying to get it together all the way till now. So let's try to wrap this one up. I don't know if this process is super common, but it always helps me to block in the drawing and then go in super rough, and more so start deciding the color palette, and then after that I'll maybe make a more definitive decision about the shapes and how things should look. But getting that initial color sketch down is like super helpful to me and keeps me from getting paralyzed. Some people like to do stuff all in value, but that doesn't really help me accomplish anything, because once you take it to color, things can change anyway. So I always try to get it as close to how it's going to be in the end. Right now, I have kind of two light sources, or two light areas. One is going to be like this heavy rim light coming from the lightning in his guitar, and the other I kind of want to be more like the moon. It's not really 100% accurate to how light will work on someone, but nothing about this is 100% accurate, so we can do whatever we want. Especially in stylized art, I think there's a beauty to knowing the rules and breaking them, in the sense that you can be more solution oriented and focused on making stuff look right or look cool, even though it might not be accurate, because in reality, accuracy is kind of boring. And we're not trying to be boring, we're trying to be exciting and cool. Hmm. Sorry, I'm doing a little bit of thinking right now. Trying to make a decision about how much of this guy should have moonlight as well as a rim light. Really faking it, so it's hard to make a decision about what the most productive way to move forward is when you're already kind of faking it. So just taking the time to figure it out. I have to think about it. Um, Oftentimes, when you get stuck, like how I'm kind of stuck, one of the most beneficial things you could do is start, if you're using this process of kind of sketchily blocking in everything that you want. One thing that really helps is once you get like that initial color sketch, get it in kind of quick and dirty, but then take a step back and start like removing the layers you might have had in your color sketch. And over time, you can kind of realize once you refine things, certain things that maybe worked in the rough stage don't work anymore. And I think if you end up getting stuck, try removing something and work on one layer at a time. And then I personally think that that's a good way to find a solution to something if you feel like it might not be working the way you want it to. Because if you start from the bottom and you layer up, layer up, layer up, I think that you can make sure that each layer that comes after, you're more, the things work in isolation and you're building on things that already work rather than trying to make something on top work for something that should be working below, if that's a good way of saying it. This music's going hard right now. It's crazy to watch some other people stream because some artists work so linearly and in such a clean fashion, and I feel like personally I can't. Like I have to take a lot of breaks, even when I'm working, and just like kind of sit back and look at what I'm doing, because a lot of times just by looking, I kind of make a determination that something really doesn't work that I thought was working, and if I try to work straight through, like you get so much momentum that you maybe don't make the best decisions. But everybody's different. You have to do what works for you. Some people are decisive, they move quick, and whatever they decide on the first go ends up working out well for them. Well, I'm not like that. I kind of have to take my time and really be able to think about what I just did. Shouts out to whoever hopped in. Appreciate it. Thanks for saying hello. I might change the music though, because it's a little bit more intense than I want it to be. I feel like I'm in a Berlin club right now. Oh, thank you. Can you still hear the music now that I switched playlists? But do you hear music though? Okay, because last time I switched playlists, it stopped. This should sound like hip hop now. Maybe it's.
Oh, you have to put the volume up a little
It stopped?
bit. Is it? Yes, no lyrics, right?
Yeah, it's just like a beat.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Me too. Let me know if you hear anything that sounds weird. Please. Army, you could turn it off too. It's hard for me to check because on OBS you can't turn off your own like audio. Let's get it. Right now I'm blocking in the guitar. I think I'm gonna separate this guy out completely. I feel like that might work better. I'll be able to have more control utilizing clipping mask and whatnot. Okay, maybe no. Never mind. I feel like it might be better for me to just have this be completely separate from the rest of the layer. Give me a little bit more control. Hope this music feels a little more like a proper vibe, less like you're in a club. That other music had my heart rate going up too high. I'm just trying to clean up some of these selections because initially this was clicked onto the same layer as the guy, and I don't like that anymore, so now I'm gonna separate it. I feel like it gives me more control because spend a little bit more time focusing on making this guy work. I'm not even sure I'll use that later. Oh yeah, that'll work. Hope whoever's watching this video is getting some drawing done. The world needs more art. I mean, good art. No, I mean, maybe that's not fair. People think this isn't very good, so. This is royalty-free music, but the guy on the beat sounds like Kendrick Lamar. The one thing about this process or this way of working is that you end up with there's kind of a disconnect in your mind because you end up with this almost roughly finished drawing because you know where you're going, but in reality, once you start to clean it up, you're actually still in the block out stage. And that's one thing that always catches me. But when you have a cool color sketch that you are happy with and that you refine until you're happy with, it actually can be fulfilling. It keeps you excited for the part of a piece that's kind of a grind. So just some advice to anyone who struggles with maybe working on a piece for a longer period of time. If you get your line sketch and then your color sketch and you're happy with both before you move on to final, it can alleviate a lot of anxiety and make you more confident in where you're going. It's something I wish I would have started doing earlier. I think I could have had successful pieces a lot earlier on in my career journey, whatever you want to call it. But instead, because I didn't take the time to thumbnail, sketch, and refine everything and get each stage to where I was happy with, I think it ended up keeping me intimidated, where I had a lot more ideas than I knew what to do with. And that's not really a good place to be. Definitely not if you want to be a professional, have a professional mindset, because at work you can't do that. You have to bring your best and do your best, or you just stagnate, which I don't think anyone wants to do. And even when you have a job, you still have to do that for yourself, because you don't want to just give everybody else all your great ideas and then kind of slack or pull back in your own work. That's not really I don't think that's really the type of career most people imagine themselves having when they get started. So it's important to have a process that keeps you engaged, that keeps you from being overly anxious and intimidated about what it is you're trying to achieve. And if you do that, I think you could probably accomplish a lot more in your work than you would even imagine. Because once you can isolate each aspect of a piece, whether it's the perspective, the colors, the stylization, I think you can end up being pretty happy with the process overall. Or at least the final product. I don't know about the process because everyone's different when it comes to that, but you can at least be happy with your work. Thanks, Daniel. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for coming in, Daniel Rockburn. Appreciate it. You drawing tonight, Daniel? I've probably drawn way too many characters with different variations of Converse, but I can't help it. Converse are lit, and I lived in LA for 7 years, so seen a lot of them in my life. Just a classic shoe, like an Air Max or an Air Jordan. No, Daniel, it's not. It's a software that I prefer a lot more than Procreate personally. It's called Art Studio Pro. It's honestly, it's a lot more similar to Photoshop than it is to Procreate. A lot of the functionality works the same as Photoshop, which is what I prefer because I have been using Photoshop every day for almost 10 years by the time I finally started drawing on the iPad seriously. So I don't really want to change. I would rather have something more similar to that. But, you know, everybody's different. Some people love Procreate. One thing I will say, the iPad itself makes you want to draw more than you otherwise would. I think I've probably produced more work in the last year since I started, almost a year since I started working on the iPad than I had previously, by probably a pretty big margin. Yeah. What do you like to draw on, Daniel? Procreate, you a Procreate guy, Photoshop guy, Clip Studio? Oh yeah, that was yeah. That's just like me. I went to school mostly for concept, but comics always had my heart. You reading any good comics right now, Daniel? I think I like this playlist a lot more. Let me know if you can hear the music because sometimes it cuts out. Oh yeah, yeah, I love Black Thunder. I haven't gotten through the first volume yet. Oh, nice. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I love Black Thunder. I'm working my way through the first volume. I switch back and forth through so many because I primarily read on Kindle, but oh, my voice is a little low. All right, let me turn that up. Maybe it's because I'm using the mic, but I had to get right up on it. Kind of have to eat it. Is this better? Nice. All right. Guess I just have to stay up on it like I'm doing a podcast. But yeah, dude, I love Black Thunder. Jeff Lemire, really, I like his work a lot. I think I like him because he's kind of like Rick Remender in the fact that he's an artist who writes for a lot of people, but I love the fact that he still draws his own stuff. I feel like it brings a lot to the table in regards to what he chooses to make comics about. But I definitely gotta finish Black Thunder. I like James Tynion as well. I've been thinking about reading World Tree if I get time, but I just haven't yet. I'm on a huge humanoids Jodorowsky kick right now. I've been reading like Meta Barons and a little bit of the Final Inkle. Some of the newer stuff. Yeah, man, the pacing of Black Thunder is really good. It's not common in Western comics. Oftentimes the pages don't flow well, but yeah, the way he does it is very good. It's almost like manga. Yeah, dude, you got to check it out. It's mostly French and Argentine, I think, artists, but especially if you're a comic concept artist who loves comics, you would love. Everyone talks about Mobius, but there's other guys too, like a guy named Juan Jimenez. He was from Argentina. He died a couple years ago, but his designs and his storytelling is on point. But yeah, check it out. Humanoids is basically kind of like the collected volumes of stuff that they used to put out with in heavy metal. I think you would like it a lot. A lot of cool concepts, it's very different mindset and ideas. But I think you would love it, especially if you love concept art. Yeah, dude. You drawing right now? Yeah. Mobius and Jodorowsky did. I think that was like the beginning of his comics. They did the Inkle They did a few other things, but the main one I think most people know is the Inkle. I think a lot of his other works might have been solo. Nice. Let's get it. I love drawing on stream while other people are drawing on stream. I feel like I'm hanging with friends or something. Who's some of your favorite artists? You know what? I think I just kind of started streaming and I've been trying to get a better idea of what the schedule should be. But I think more than likely it'll either be Wednesday and Thursday and then maybe Saturdays and Sundays if I have, and then or maybe I'll probably do another day in the week. It just depends on what time, but I think Wednesday and Thursday will probably be the schedule, just 2 days back to back, and then probably 1 or 2 other days in the week I'll stream if I have time, just depending on which day. I'll just like go for it. But yeah, I think Thursday nights will probably be regular, Thursdays and Wednesdays. So yeah, we'll see. Don't know how I feel about this color, man. Nice. A couple of the people on your list are on my list. Ramita Jr. and Paul Pope. Ramita Jr. and Paul Pope are definitely in mine. I'm looking at I don't know Corey Lewis. I have to check him out. Jim Mafood I really like as well. Nick Klein I really like. I just saw some work of his recently. I think I've seen his work so much that I don't know if I gave it the attention that I did just this one time in particular. And I'm like, whoa, this guy's really good. Not that he needed me to say it, but it's just crazy. Nice. Come hang. If you subscribe, it'll send out an alert too whenever I go live. So it should shoot it to your email. So yeah, I think that's what I saw. His Incredible Hulk work is so dramatic, man. So good. Yeah, Nick Klein on Incredible Hulk is really sick. Sorry if I get silent, man. Every once in a while I get stuck. Yeah, I could totally see that. Corey Lewis. I'm gonna look that up while we're on the stream. Now I'm curious. Oh yeah, I like this a lot. Yeah, I like this style a lot. Yeah, I definitely gotta keep tabs on this one. Thanks for sharing, man. Now I got a new artist to look at. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Um. So when it comes to line work, I would say there's a couple of things. In my opinion, I would say one of the things is it's probably the one time where when people tell you the brush you use isn't important, I think that's not really true when it comes to inking, because the type of brush you use is gonna, or line work is gonna determine like what effect you're gonna get. So it depends if you're doing like because you're in concept art, if you're doing like some clean mechanical looking stuff, you want to probably use the hard round or like a pencil brush that's very even and it doesn't have a lot of like I don't know what they call it, but if you press, it gets really big, and when you lift up, it gets really small. And if you want to be mechanical and clean, that's probably the better way to approach it. But if you're trying to do something more comic-y, I would say look at reference and try your best to kind of replicate it, and also understand that like when you're learning how to like get a nice line work style that you're trying to achieve, probably the first time you're going to be very zoomed in, and it's going to feel like it matches zoomed in, and then when you zoom out it doesn't work. So just understand, I think that's a part of the process. So maybe just try and practice zooming in and zooming out and seeing if you can match what you're looking at. Like if you're looking at Paul Pope, digitally it can be hard to match, so you really have to find like the right brush. So you want to find like a brush that has a lot of like size, pen pressure, and also you want to stay as zoomed out as possible and get those big shapes. But if you're looking at like Ramita Jr., you want to look at like, you want to look at how a lot of his line work is describing form. So try to look at what it is that first, like select your references for what you're trying to achieve, and get very specific about what those references are, whether it's Mignola and like a type of drop shadow you want, or it's like Ramita, because that's going to determine what you would call quote unquote good line work. So get your references, make them specific, and then look at what are they using the line for. So in the case of Mignola, he's using line, but a lot of what he uses line for is lighting. But if you look at Ramita Jr., what he's using line for is to describe form. He's wrapping around the forms and he's showing you what the direction of it is. So those are two completely different things. I mean, both are used to describe form, but it is different when you're using it to show three-dimensionality versus like direct light or something like that. So if I had to say it, I would say just get really specific about what your references are and stick to those. And I think most times you'll kind of get what you're looking for. And then the general rule is pay attention to where the light is. If the light is coming from the top, you probably want that to be the thinner line, and the line that's facing the light direction, you want that to be maybe the thinner line, and then you want to go thick in the dark shadowy kind of areas. So that's like a general rule of thumb, but once you kind of know what you're doing, you can play with it, because I'm not even following that rule in this piece right now, but I do enough other stuff that kind of shows that, and it's like more stylized. So yeah. I don't do many master studies anymore, mostly because I think I reached a point where like now I'm trying to get more of my own ideas out there. No, that's not true. I do really shitty quick master studies. So I do a lot of like I have really small notebooks, and in those notebooks I'll do like really quick sketches of like things that I really like. Like right now I'm really liking Robert Valley, so I'll do like really quick sketches of his compositions and the way that he kind of draws people and the way that he uses shapes. Right now it's Robert Valley, Mike Mignola, a guy I work for, one of the creative directors at my studio. He's not a comic artist, but his name's Ewan Stenhouse. I really look at his work. And another guy I work with, Johnny Cardozo. He's like out of this world talented. I work with some great people, so I actually probably look at the work of people I work with more than anybody. Just the illustrators at Golden Wolf. Sten, Sten House. So it's Johnny, like how you spelled it, and then Cardoso. Those are like two guys I work with. I'm always looking at their work, but they're not comics people. At least I don't think so. But yeah, check them out. As far as comics go, dang, I gotta look at my bookshelf. Oh, the biggest comics person I think I'm probably really obsessed with right now would be Andrew McLean from Headlopper. I really love his work. Dang, we got 5 people in here. What's up? Yeah, check out Headlopper. I really love the way he simplifies forms and the way that he composes images. Yeah, he's just, every time initially when I looked at his work, it was only like character design, and then when I started trying to learn storytelling, then I really started seeing how good he was at storytelling. Every time I felt like I learned something new and I start looking for information, Same. Yeah. Every time I try to learn something new, I feel like he's already doing it in a way that I think just works perfectly. So Andrew McLean is probably like one of my favorites for sure. And also another one I'm looking at right now is this is a French comic. It's called Last Man. I think anyone who likes comics should read that. I think that is in my opinion, I probably haven't read enough comics to say this, but I feel like that's almost a perfect comic. I really love that comic book. Yeah, nice, nice. It only gets better, dude. Oh yeah, Frank Miller's really good too. That's another. I'm talking about like a really good. Yeah, the art style is super sick. Yeah, dude, the French comics are the best right now. I think. Yeah. Frank Miller is so good. Like, also mainly because of the way that he uses shapes. In my opinion, I love like looking at 300 and seeing how he plays with shapes. To me, that's like some of the best stuff I've seen. Yeah. Sorry if I get a little quiet. Yeah, dude, Last Man is really humbling. From every level, like the writing is humbling, the way that they're able to draw super simply but tell such a concise story. It's really amazing. And the story is just so good and so fun. And also the universe they created is like one of the best because in one volume it's like a martial arts medieval mystical kind of story. The next volume it becomes like Mad Max, and then the one after that it's like sci-fi. I think that's a pretty good deal. would look at Burn Hogarth. I think that was like the first real anatomy book that I started diving into, and I think it probably helped me the most personally. I mean, I think it's still, you can see I'm still influenced by the way that he does stuff. But yeah, Burn Hogarth. It's called like Dynamic Anatomy, I think. When I first started, that was the book that I used to use all the time because the way that he breaks up the forms of anatomy is super good. And then there's also another book that I don't have the name off the top of my head. Oh, okay. It's called Figure Drawing, Design, and Invention. I think that also is a really helpful book. It's called Figure Drawing, Design, and Invention. It's I think it's probably, yeah. I mean, that book works too. I never really used it, but I mean, you gotta use. Everyone has like different things that help them learn. I know that How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way has a lot of good information on stuff that like on other important stuff like storytelling and about like always making stuff as like dynamic as possible. Like those things are really important. Like if a man walks in the room, you could make it a really flat angle, or you could kind of slightly turn the camera to the side of him and make it even more interesting. I love stuff like that. Yeah, I'm actually working on one right now. I could show you some layouts. So this is one page. I'm working on a comic. It's called Bloody Brawlers. And so this is like one of the pages I'm kind of laying out right now. But I could show you. Here's another one. And these are super rough, but also I have a final. Let me I have to turn off my screen for a second, make sure I don't show anything from work. I'm pulling some pages up so you can see like a more final page. So here's kind of what like the yeah, especially once you see like the line work. But here's another page from the comic. So this is more like a final page. And here's like another one. But yeah, the whole thing's gonna be black and white, no color, because it's just me by myself trying to work my way through it. But thank you, thank you. I'll definitely probably once I get the book laid out fully, I'll probably draw the comic on stream more often. But for right now, I still have to like lay it out, and I'm still kind of editing stuff as I work. So I think it's harder to commit to anything, especially as far as like a stream when you might realize you might need to scrap like a whole section. So once I get that kind of settled in and it just comes down to the drawing, then I think I'll stream that more often. I wish, dude. I would definitely do a Headlopper cover. I might ask him. I don't know if he'll respond though. That would be epic. Yeah, that's actually true. You got the mind of a hustler. That's true. Just send them a finished piece and just say, hey, I made a cover. Use it if you want it. Don't use it if you don't. That's a good idea. Maybe I'll do that. Might work. I feel like it's not right to have a hip hop playlist or an EDM playlist when you're drawing a metal character, but I feel like all the metal I like, I mean, I know all the metal I like would not fly on stream, so not gonna do that. Oh, thanks, brother. No, I don't like that. I'm changing the song because nobody wants to hear that. We back? Okay, here we go. Sorry, guys. I lost the stream for a minute. I've been doing comics. Seriously, I've been working on the one I'm working on now. Yeah, the chat, like, everything lagged for me for a second, too. I've been working on the comic I'm working on now for over a year, and I had an original version that just didn't make any sense, so I got rid of it. But actually, when I was in school, to be a concept artist or a designer, I actually made a comic as a part of my portfolio, which didn't really make any sense because if you show a comic to most concept people, they don't really care to see that. But 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 yeah, I think I'm like you. I wanted to be an artist, and I think what got me into it was comics. So right now I'm working on the lightning coming out of this guy's guitar. The idea is supposed to be he's shredding so hard there's like lightning coming out of it. Yeah, I don't get how people can want to be designers or concept artists and not like comics. That's so. But it's. I mean, everyone likes what they like, but that does blow my mind too because it's hard to imagine anyone getting into this industry and not liking cartoons but not liking comics. That blows my mind. I feel like maybe they just don't get exposed to the right stuff. Sorry, I had to swap my headphones. Yeah, I work for a commercial animation studio called Golden Wolf. Thank you. Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool gig. I was freelance for about a year or two before that, and then I got the job and came on, and I've been here for about a year and a half now. Don't like that. No, I'm not in California anymore. I was. I'm from there. I'm from the Bay Area, actually. I was born in Oakland. Right now, I currently live in Utah, but I know SF very well. And I lived in LA for about 7 years. Yeah. have to do a quick rough sketch because I don't know if I'm getting what I want from the shape of this lighting. No, I actually never worked in the art industry in Los Angeles. By the time I started working, I was out. Bless you, babe. I've only ever worked remote, but I went to school in LA. Kind of. I went to community college for probably way too long because I didn't have a good idea what I wanted to do. And but for art, I did a lot of figure drawing at Santa Monica Community College with a really good teacher named Mark Trujillo. He, I think, still at the time taught at Art Center, and then yeah, I learned a lot about painting and drawing from him. I stayed with him for about a year, and after that, I took classes full time in the Valley, going back and forth between Brainstorm School and Concept Design Academy, and I did that for about a year. What school you going to, Daniel? You going to the Academy of Art? Nice. I think mentorships is definitely a good way to go. Get like a focused kind of attention. I think if you can afford it and if you can find a good mentor, I think those paid mentorships might be even better than just general classes because you have someone who's spending a lot more time uh, tracking your journey. So I think that's a really smart move, dude. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm looking for, see if I can find an image of my initial sketch. Because this lightning is not doing what I wanted to do, and I feel like in my initial sketch, I kind of was closer. to where I want it to be. I think I feel better about that now. Yeah, dude. Gotta make more comics. Gotta tune in, dude. I think one of my main goals is that if I draw, other people will have a place that they want to draw. And once I kind of get like a set schedule, I think I can hopefully make it more of a habit for myself and for others, and kind of build a community of people trying to be more productive. I think that would be cool. Yeah. How you doing? Okay, I think that is probably what I want to do. No, I think you're onto something. I think Thursdays are a good time for a lot of people. I think a lot of people are winding down for the week, and I feel like maybe I think Wednesday and Thursdays are probably the best days to stream. I know for one thing, my viewership is higher on those days than on I think last time I went was a Monday or a Tuesday. I feel like people were just more down to come and hang. The first comic I made was traditional. I did it all. No, not all of it. It was also black and white, and that was traditional, and I really enjoyed it. Now I think the only reason I do traditional or don't do it that way is because I already work on the computer, so it's easy for me to just like basically not have any different workflow from my day job. But I would like to, if I ever have more time, I would like to make the comics traditionally because, I mean, just to be frank, the sale of art is a massive income you can make. And for right now, I mean, all you could do to sell digital would be like an NFT, but I don't know if the comic art collector market, who currently has the money to spend on comic art, is particularly interested. So I definitely think I would do it one day. I would like to. Also, I would like to do it in a way. I have to find supplies that you could find regularly because there are certain things that I would love to do traditionally that I don't know, like basic stuff like even the brushes I used to like to use. I don't know if you can find them regularly anymore. I used to really like the I think they're the Raphael. I can't remember the number anymore. They come with a number. Matteo Scalera uses them, which is why I started using them. And then they're pretty expensive, but they're really high quality. But they're hard to find. Yeah, I think. Yeah, that's smart. The other thing a lot of people do, I know Ryan Otley's been doing it for like a long time. He does uh his layouts and kind of like pencil drawings and on the computer. I think even now on the iPad, and it's cool because you get time lapses of his comics, but then he inks it on Bristol board traditionally, so he gets the freedom of digital layout, but he gets to have that final piece at the end, which I think is genius because when you lay it out, I feel like digital is just superior because you can constantly go back and forth and you're not precious with it. So you can prioritize composition and storytelling and all that. But you can still have like a final that people can have in their hands and you can sell, which is a lot of money, dude. Like the original art market is a lot bigger than what I think people would even imagine. If you're talented. I mean, if you don't have collectors, then I don't think you're making anything. But outside of that, yeah, exactly. And if you're doing a page a day and you finish a graphic novel and you have like hundreds of pages, that's a lot of money, dude. on top of, and a lot of times you got paid for it, like in the first, like you had a page rate, and then you were able to sell that work later. So this song is a little bit annoying. Definitely gotta change this. Sorry, guys, got a little bit focused there. Oh, wrong layer. I probably zoom in way more than someone should, but I can't help but be particular about shapes because I feel like when I zoom out, I can see everything wrong with it, and just doesn't sit well with me when I don't mess with it at all. Is that not on this layer? Oh, it's one of the stars. Daniel, when it comes to studying anatomy, I don't know if I did it right, but it worked for me. I just every day I would like copy the books and I would get to the end and then I would start all over. And damn, and then I would get a new book and then start over